Okay, let's dive right into this. You know that game you just bought? Well, you didn't actually buy it. You just paid for a temporary permission slip, and right now, trillion-dollar companies are getting ready to shred it completely. We are watching a massive, fundamental shift in digital ownership, where the games, the movies, and the software you thought were yours forever can just vanish overnight.
For example, Amazon is effectively erasing purchase games from their Luna platform right after the total collapse of Google Stadia. And to make matters even worse, your internet service provider is secretly throttling your connection to make these cloud games unplayable anyway. But seriously, stick around and don't click away. This isn't just another piece of AI slop. This is a highly researched, educational, and hopefully super entertaining explainer on the ultimate digital bait and switch. So go ahead and hit that like button, and let's uncover what's really going on.
So, here is the absolutely crucial point. When you click buy on a digital storefront, whether we're talking about Prime Video or games on Luna, these companies are actively arguing in federal court that you are only purchasing a non-exclusive, revocable license. You are not getting actual ownership. There's a class action lawsuit right now in Washington state against Amazon over deleted digital movies, and it perfectly exposes this trap. The fine print essentially says your access is kept entirely at the company's sole discretion, meaning they can pull the plug at any time, zero warning.
And if you want to see how these tech giants legally defend themselves, you won't believe this. Amazon's lawyers literally quoted Webster's dictionary in court to argue that the word buy doesn't actually imply perpetual ownership. They argued with a straight face that a reasonable consumer shouldn't expect to keep the item forever. To them, buy just means you're acquiring the rights to use their services for a while. It completely flips the very concept of purchasing upside down.
Now, to see how this impacts gamers right this second, let's look at the cloud gaming market. You probably remember when Google shut down Stadia. They famously issued full refunds for every single game purchased. Pretty fair, right? Well, Amazon looked at that exact precedent for their Luna service, studied it, and decided to just take your games away with zero compensation. As Luna pivots away from letting you bring your own third-party games, Amazon's official stance is that users aren't entitled to a single cent back.
And again, this isn't just some theoretical debate. This is happening to people right now. Look at this timeline. It's literally a digital eviction notice. Luna users were told their third-party library access goes completely dark, and crucially, they were given just 90 days to download their cloud saves before Amazon throws them permanently in the trash. And per Amazon's own warnings, those saves might not even be compatible anywhere else. It's a walled garden designed to be just inconvenient enough to trap all your progress.
It really makes you rethink your entire digital library, doesn't it? Before we move on to the technical side of this mess, drop a comment below. Tell us the game, movie, or software that you suddenly lost access to. Let's see just how widespread this digital theft really is in our community.
Okay, but let's play devil's advocate. Even if these platforms actually let you keep your games forever, you still have to face the hidden technical enemy of the cloud. Because your game isn't running locally, in your living room. Every single time you press a button, that input has to travel out of your house, across the internet to a server, get rendered, encoded into video, and sent all the way back. This architecture makes cloud gaming hypersensitive to latency.
And here is where the trap completely snaps shut on you. You might run an internet speed test and see a beautiful 500 megabits per second, but that's just bandwidth. ISPs love selling you bandwidth, which is great for binging Netflix. But cloud gaming needs a totally different metric, latency. Latency is the real-time speed your data actually travels, and is the only thing that matters if you want a smooth, playable experience.
To really put that into perspective, 133 milliseconds is the physical speed of light limit for pinging data halfway across the Earth. But commercial cloud gaming demands latency under 100 milliseconds just to function, even lower for fast-paced shooters. So you aren't just fighting corporate greed, you are literally fighting the laws of physics and the distance to the nearest data center.
But wait, it's actually worse than just physics, because there's active interference happening too. Thanks to independent testing, we now know that many ISPs secretly throttle your connection using a sketchy practice called traffic shaping. Since gaming relies on tiny real-time data packets, ISPs intentionally deprioritize those packets during peak hours to manage their network load. So your speed test looks perfect, but your game is stuttering because your specific gaming traffic is being shoved to the back of the line.
Yep, this is exactly why you're losing those matches you know you should have won. Seriously, if you have a friend who is constantly raging about mysterious lag spikes or teleporting characters, hit that share button and send this explainer to them right now so they finally know who's really to blame.
Okay, enough doom and gloom. The good news is, players and developers are finally fighting back. On our end as consumers, you can route your traffic through a VPN to encrypt it, which hides your gaming data so your ISP can't selectively throttle it. You can also test for throttling yourself using research tools like the WeHey app. And socially, huge movements like the Stop Killing Games petition have pulled in over 1 million signatures in the EU, demanding that publishers give us a way to play our games even after they shut their servers down.
Developers are fighting back too, creating some brilliant technical workarounds like the eRender architecture. Instead of processing everything in a massive, distant cloud server, eRender actually separates the graphics engine and moves the heavy rendering to edge servers, which are physically located much closer to your neighborhood. This completely bypasses the congested internet backbone, slashing latency and saving up to 95% of bandwidth. It's a genuinely genius way to cheat the physical limits of the internet.
And legally, lawmakers are finally waking up to the scam. California just passed a new law, AB 2426, that actively targets this digital bait and switch. It makes it illegal for companies to use words like buy or purchase unless they are explicitly granting you unrestricted ownership. If they aren't, they have to clearly label that you're just buying a revocable license. It forces the truth right there on the checkout screen.
So the whole landscape of how we consume digital media is shifting under our feet. Between secret ISP throttling, the brutal physical limits of cloud architecture, and trillion-dollar companies literally trying to rewrite the dictionary to strip away your ownership, the era of blindly trusting that buy button is over. Will you ever look at a digital storefront the same way again? If you want to stay ahead of these digital traps and keep uncovering the hidden systems running our tech, make sure you hit subscribe and join us for the next explainer.